Council meeting for the City of Saratoga Springs. Today is Tuesday, June 16th at 6:02 p.m. I almost made myself laugh. Present, we have Councilmember Audrey Barton, Councilmember Eldon Davenport, Councilmember Robert Taylor, Councilmember Emma Wilson, Councilmember Lance Wadman will be here in a few minutes. He's excused. He is on the phone, but he'll be in here in a few minutes. We will start with a moment of reflection offered by Councilmember Wilson, and I will give the pledge.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for the opportunity to meet and consider the needs of the city of Saratoga Springs. We're so grateful for the beautiful place we live, for the beautiful environment, for all of our city employees and staff and first responders who have been taking such good care of the city. We're grateful for the community who lives here, and we ask you for direction to help make wise decisions tonight. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
If you please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll begin with the presentation recognition of outgoing planner Commission Colton Miles by Sarah.
This plaque to present to Colton Miles. We're sad that he's leaving the commission. He served for about a year and a half. And this states, for your dedicated service on the City of Saratoga Springs Planning Commission, your hard work, honesty, positive attitude, and commitment to making Saratoga Springs a great community is sincerely appreciated by the Mayor and City Council. Thank you, Commissioner Miles. And of course, he's sad to go, but he's going to be moving, which disqualifies him.
How dare you?
I think Jan wants to take our picture.
Oh, jeez. Davis County sucks. Just kidding. Or Weaver, I don't know. The Davis.
Sorry. All right, thank you.
So Colton, thank you. Several of us up here served on the Planning Commission. It's more thankless than what we do. So I appreciate what you done for the city. And we won't make you give a speech. That's okay. Unless you have some prepared remarks. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, we will move to public input. Time has been set aside for the public to express ideas, concerns, comments for subject matter not listed as a public hearing on the agenda. Time for the public input is limited to no more than 15 minutes total. Please limit individual comments to 3 minutes. Time may not be given to another commenter. Please be respectful in your comments. Please avoid repetitive comments. If you are here for public hearing, please hold your comment until that item. Is there anybody here for public input? Go ahead and come on up to the mic, please. If you please state your name and address for the record.
So I'm David Spencer. I live in Orem, 899 North, 550 East. I'm running for County Commissioner seat B. So I'm out visiting all the cities and saying hi, and I served on the city council in Orem for 12 years. And how I got into politics was the council at the time, many years ago, wanted to take baseball fields out for parking. I didn't think that was a very smart idea, so I ran for city council. And the baseball fields are still in Orem, so I have accomplished what I set forth. So I'm a baseball guy, but the reason I'm running for county commissioner is, in those 12 years, not one time did a county commissioner come to Orem and say, how can the county help you? What are your needs? And that needs to change. Every city is different. I went to Eagle Mountain. They've got 26,000 building permits that have not been built. Coming your way, right? We need to figure out our transportation infrastructure, because if we don't, we're going to have gridlock, and it's not going to be Happy Valley. It's going to be Sad Valley or Crappy Valley, right? So my main concern with the county is I don't believe we're one. I believe we're fractured. and we need to come together as a county. So I want to go to every city, meet with every mayor, council, and community, see exactly what your needs are. Let's figure out what we need. Then we can go to the legislature and make sure we get the money for Utah County. The problem I see with the legislature right now is the leadership is pretty much in Davis County, so they get most of the money. So we need somebody that's going to go to the legislature and get the money for our county. I will represent every city in the county. I've been all over the county, and that's why I love being on city council is people can call me, and I'm accessible. And I miss being on the city council, but I think county commissioner might be a bigger area, and I think I can handle that. But I'm David Spencer. Hope I can gain your trust and vote. Thank you. And I will give some of my literature to the recorder.
Thank you. And not to scare you, David, but we have more vested property than Eagle Mountain does.
We're 33,000.
So put that in your hat.
Infrastructure and
We gotta fix
transportation.
that.
We need help. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anybody else here for public input? Seeing none, I'll close public input. We will go to reports. So I know we've got a report on Splash, but I'll just put in my 2 cents before staff comes up. Splash was awesome. As always, our civic events team, as a part-time organization, just knocked it out of the park. It was a great event. I went to Splash and Monday Fun Day. I went to all the nights, and I know we don't have final numbers yet, but I promise our numbers were pre-COVID sized crowds. We lost some during and after COVID, and our numbers are way back up. So I know just from the parade route, the parade was deep people, right? The whole route. It was great. So that's my report tonight. Council, anything from council? Go ahead.
I just wanted to first thank our first responders for the work that they've done over the past couple of weeks. There have been some major incidents with fire and other events that have required a lot of coordination with state and other municipalities, and just thank them for their good work.
And piggybacking on that, I think that there's a lot of city staff that are also first responders that are the first ones communicating with residents and those things. So definitely huge thankful for our police and our fire, but also to many other city staff members who pull weekend hours to deal with this kind of thing.
I don't need to say it either, but I'll just come after Chris. Mayor. Just about Splash. I knew I'd get teary. Because I always do. Because I've never felt more proud to be a resident of Saratoga Springs. It was such a great week. You guys did such an amazing job. I can't even talk even more great things about it. I had such a great time. My family had a good time. But sitting there watching the drone show, which was amazing. Thanks, you guys. I did. My family's looking at me like, why are you crying? But it was just such a powerful moment for me to see everybody there. There was a gazillion people there, right? We had this awesome show, America 250, right? The Chick-fil-A chick, which everybody loved. Was that our big hit? It was the Chick-fil-A. Anyway, so proud to be a member of the city and serving, to have you guys and staff. So thank you. And for I always get to visit with our our public safety at these events, and we played a couple, pranks, but it's fine, on each other. But such a great week with the events and with being able to visit more with our public safety. It's just a great time to connect with everybody, not even our residents as well as our staff. So amazing. So thank you. I know you're reporting, but I just wanted to say that because I will just cry the whole time over it. But such a great week. Just so proud to be part of Saratoga and to be here. So thanks.
I'll be curious if the official count comes back
Yeah.
around a gazillion.
It was so great.
A gazillion.
That's the number you used, a gazillion. So
I don't know how I can add more to what's already been said. The staff has been great. Annalise, Corinne, your staff, you guys, I saw you on Saturday night, and you're still going strong and you're happy. And I'm just like, I don't know how you do it. I was wiped out. But thank you so much. And then to our first responders. I also want to recognize Chief Burton for what the police are now doing with the traffic enforcement with the red lights. Thank you so much. desperately needed, and I really appreciate the attention that is beginning to go into that. And I actually caught KSL, caught wind of that. So this is important for public safety moving forward, and I appreciate that.
Anything from administration?
Yes. Sorry to bring the mood down from Splash update. And it's appropriate. I've received notice from Republic that they're going to be adjusting our routes in September. So I just wanted to give the council a quick heads up that our routes will be adjusting. They have not gotten us a plan yet, but as soon
That's
as we get the
pushed from the
information.
original, correct?
That is pushed. They were
Okay.
originally looking at trying to get something out as early July, and we're just like, no, you got to help us message that and get that message out to our community. So we'll be bringing that back to you later this summer. And then just also a heads up, they did give us a notice both with North Point and with Republic that rates are going up. We've done some initial analysis, and we'll bring that back later this fall to look at what that might look like. So just be aware that that's on the horizon, but there's no need to move on it immediately.
So just so the public understands, that means trash routes are changing, which means your day your trash comes is a good
Could-
chance it will
could-
change.
Could,
It
yes.
Could, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Make that decision.
Just as,
No.
all I can say is just as long as they change it to a day when it's not windy and my recycling bin doesn't get knocked
good
all
luck.
around.
That is every day.
Right.
And will we have need for closed session tonight?
No, we do not. Kevin is going to be preparing a memo to update you on a few items, and that'll come out later this week, probably.
Thank you. Okay. All right, let's go to civic event report on Splash.
There were multiple people crying at the drone show. It's okay.
Was it just me?
No. We good there? You're good. As that comes up, I just want to start out by saying thank you so much for being so supportive of our civic events and recognizing the value that it has in bringing the community together for positive reasons. It really makes a difference to have your support and your presence there, and it does not go unnoticed by us or by the community. So thank you so much. Are we good there? There you go. It's all good. So I just wanted to highlight a couple events and super fun memories for us here. The Splash Bash was moved to the Marina Park for the first time, and it has found its new home. It was the perfect venue for that event, and we had people enjoying the lake safely as families and enjoying the picnic areas and everything in between. The showers are really a great added benefit for this event, and parking, everything. It was very well attended, and we always kind of wonder if we'll have a little dip in attendance when we move to a new location, but I think we may have doubled again. So we will let you know when we get the numbers back, but it was very well attended and all good reports. So then we had the teen chalk board that night. We are really trying to emphasize positive programming for our teens. It is harder to find entertainment for teens that everyone wants to do. So the chalk war is a fun tradition that is well loved, and I don't know if everyone can see who's in the middle of that top picture. That was our pre-chalk picture with the mayor, and having the mayor there to interact with the teenagers makes a big difference as well. So thank you for that.
It's a little windy.
It was it's a little windy. And right about as it ended, a big wind, like the big wind gust came through and kind of cleaned everybody out of the park, so it was great. These are just this is like the rest of the week in high-level review.
Corinne, I have a quick question if I can.
Sure.
On things like the Splash Bash, and I know it doesn't have really to do with the city, but when we have food trucks there, are they successful?
The teen one, it's a little less predictable. It just depends if the teens bring money. The one at the lake or
The Splash Bash was?
they always do well.
Okay,
Mhm, yeah.
so that one does well, and always at Neptune Park they do well.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They Rochelle got initial reports back from the Food Truck League on the rest of Splash, and it sounds like they were very happy with their results as well.
Okay. I want them to be successful too. So
Yeah, yeah. They had a good week. just some highlights here, and I want to make sure I say this first and foremost. Lexi and Rochelle, their ingenuity, their creativity, and their amazing planning and efforts make all of these things possible. The Cars movie night, I think, was our biggest Thursday night we've had in my memory, and I've been here with Civic Events in one way or another since 2012. I've never seen that many people there on our movie night. The kids had a great time, lots of fun things to do, and we worked really hard to be able to provide free entertainment to go alongside of the carnival. So if families are not able to attend the carnival, they have still a reason and opportunity to come and really have a great time together. And there were kids, little tiny kids, that stayed there in their little boxes till 11 o'clock watching Cars on the big screen.
I walked
It was
around,
awesome.
took pictures, and it was cold.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of little kids in those cars. It was great.
Yeah, they were
Yeah, it was
diehard.
great.
It was so fun. Then the boutique and everything through the rest of the week, and that middle picture on the top is the watermelon eating contest, which is always the curious favorite. Then the concert Friday night. I haven't seen it back to the back of that lawn since, like you said, pre-COVID, maybe 2018. It was packed, and the drone show was a great finale to that evening. So, thank you to our fire marshal for going the extra mile to investigate the pyro drones and helping fire marshals all over the state learn about those and make sure we could do it safely. So that was a good team effort from our fire department. Then you guys saw at the parade. Again, it was super packed the whole way down. It's fun to see. I don't know, I might be the only one who enjoys it, but days leading up to the parade, seeing the blankets and tarps and stuff out on the lawn, that people are excited to be part of something bigger than themselves, and they want to see what's going on. And then the fireworks at the end are always a fun hit. Just to give you kind of some numbers, one of our areas of emphasis this year was improving local involvement. So the food trucks, I don't know if you've noticed, many of the food trucks were the same each day. We really emphasized we wanted local food trucks, local Saratoga businesses to be there, and so that was a part of the reason it was similar trucks each day. They were Saratoga businesses, Saratoga owners. We had 9 businesses that were cash or large in-kind donation sponsors this year. 10 water stations, which is an opportunity for business or community groups to provide free water and conversation and advertising to the members of our community. And that has been such a popular program, I guess you'd call it. We have extended that into our Summer Monday Fun Day. So if there are businesses or community groups that would like to get involved that way, that is an option. So that's on the city website. We had 55 businesses in the parade, 34 different school groups from a variety of schools, and 10 community organizations. And then there were other, politicians and other car show groups, things like that. And all of our entertainment on Saturday were all local artists or groups. So we've worked really hard to really keep it our hometown celebration. And to improve our outreach, we've been working with Annalisa to expand and diversify our marketing. So these are just some extra things. We have added some print marketing. For a while, everything was online. We're kind of swinging back the other direction. People want postcards. The postcards have been very successful. We had great feedback week after week about people coming back and answering the survey that is on the postcard that people are keeping. So we're really liking what we see there. So that's kind of the high level. Just again, one I wanted to mention, a newer community group, the Gospel Fellowship Church, really stepped up with exceptional volunteerism. Almost every single event, they had a group of people there volunteering, helping with all sorts of different things. So we really wanted to recognize their assistance and the added benefit that.
Who was that?
The Gospel Fellowship Church. They meet
Okay.
at Lake Mountain
Lake
Middle
Mountain,
School.
yep.
Yeah. So it was great. And again, thank you to our staff. That part-time crew worked about 220 hours last week. And that doesn't count the almost year-long preparation to get
That's
to
the
this
three
point.
of you, right?
Just the 3 of us, yes.
You make it sound like a big group. No,
No,
Like there's dozens of, yeah.
there's the 3 of you.
the 3 of
Yeah.
us. And with the assistance of some caffeine and sunshine and so we will get the numbers to you. As the mayor said, everything seemed to have a larger attendance than we've had. So I expect that we will top our 68,000 participants from last year easily. So we will let you know as soon as those numbers come back. But if you have any questions or feedback, we do welcome that either now or you can shoot me an email. But yeah, thank you again.
Thank you.
What does this say on the bottom? Shirts available to order.
I forgot about that part. So, okay, we had people stopping us all week long asking where they could buy the staff shirt that has the America 250 logo. We're
So
so
I shared it on
patriotic.
social media today.
So
There's a link open, you can order them.
yeah, we have teamed up with local print shop, Mojo Printing, and the shop is open now. That went out on our social media today. There is a link that you can order a shirt. It's a slightly different color blue so that you don't get asked to clean up garbage at a park this summer. We'll know you're not the staff. Or there's a gray option and there's kid sizes. So we encourage people to order as soon as possible. I think the orders close on the 23rd so that they can have them ahead of our Celebrate America Monday Fun Day. So, which
And Corinne, for the record, we, as a city, we are not involved in that transaction.
correct.
We've given the printer the ability to use our shirt design,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Basically
And,
selling at
and
cost.
they're handling the money side, the printing side, the delivery side. We just have made it available.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
we just are sharing that link so that people can order, and they will be doing the pickup, everything, so
Right.
that we will announce that when that time and date has been finalized.
I think it's on the website now.
Yes.
It's on the social media post.
Yeah.
There's a 3-hour window here at City Hall that they'll be available for pickup.
Yep. So, and then we will have, any stragglers can pick them up on the 29th at the Monday Fun Day.
Great.
But we hope that everyone would come in their shirts, all excited to be patriotic. So,
They
just,
were great shirts, but I was so surprised. Like, I got a gazillion comments on it. It was so great.
What's your favorite number?
for the surprise hit, I know, who knew? And on that note, before I send it back to you guys, just the next big Monday Fun Day is our Celebrate America. And for those of you who are new to council, you are invited to help serve America's birthday cake at about 7:30 that night. We're going to have, I think, about 18 Costco cakes, so we
Very
expect
fun.
we expect a very large crowd. So,
So,
if you would like to participate in that, we would love to have you. The community loves getting to visit with you for their free piece cake. So amongst the other entertainment that night, and the fireworks will be about 9:45 that night. All of that at Neptune Park.
So I want to put a plug in for that because that is my favorite Monday Fun Day, and it's the U.S. Army Band, correct? That night as the performer, the farmers market, and so the council knows. I talked to the farmers market people last night, and I think their biggest sign up to date was somewhere around 35 or 36, if I remember right, vendors, and they had 52 sign up for this week. So that is picking up traction. I think the vendors are having success. We're getting a lot more people. I really liked the flow of how we did it this time, having it on a sidewalk the whole way. I think that worked well. But the 29th is the Monday Fun Day before the 4th that's a great one. So if you don't come to many of them, make sure you come out that night. If you think about 20 Costco sheet cakes, we have a lot of cake to hand out.
I was going to say, so you're expecting like 2 million people, right?
Yes, the
We
gazillions
cut up
will
into
be
little
there.
slices and hand them out. So yeah, it's a good time.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for Splash. My preschooler looked forward to it all year, came to me the morning of Wednesday last week and was like, today is a big day, Mom. I got to get dressed, which is a fight every day. So I was like, it's not till 5, but please, let's get dressed. He loved it so much. And on Saturday, he just was at the parade saying, we're the luckiest kids ever to get the candy.
That's good.
But I know that this is such a big thing for our community, and it's just so great. And wonderful job doing so many free things along with the carnival, because I think people, whatever they could spend, were able to be involved, and that's really wonderful.
Thank you. We appreciate that. That's what we like. We appreciate the happy feedback.
And I'll put in my last plug is I'm glad we threw that many Frisbees.
So many.
I thought it was fun.
Some of us might need to practice for next year.
Mayor has it down.
Council member Davenport may have got hit in the back of the head a few times. My last question, and I know that we don't necessarily run it, but can we find out who won the car show?
Oh,
Or can I find out?
Yes.
I don't know who we get that from.
Yeah, Rochelle will have that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, we'll
Appreciate
get to
that.
And just as a side note, the car show, we had about 65 attendees. Our RC car show, which I think
Had
last year
over
had maybe
80?
20, we had 110 this year.
110. Yeah.
Really?
So I don't know of anyone else that does an RC car show, so that's a thing now.
Yeah, it was unique. It was fun.
Hold out for Mayor Miller.
How does the RC, how does that work? Do they just come and show them just like a car show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
what
they were all on the wall. People were walking around looking at
I
them.
missed that part, dang it.
They were,
they did
yeah,
all
they
of it.
come and they have like a,
Obstacle
there's
course.
rooms to drive
RC cars,
around.
okay.
Yeah, they have,
I saw the winners,
Yeah.
so I saw kind of what
Yeah.
they looked like, but I wasn't, okay, very cool.
yeah. I won't pretend to understand how the judging works on that one, but they had a lot of fun.
I had to judge the real car show, and I won't pretend to understand how
Hey, what was your choice?
it works
I can't
either.
remember the mayor's choice.
Mine was an old Jeep, restored Jeep.
Chris, can I?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I heard some of the comments as that given you guys kudos, but I don't think we can say enough. By the way, I do apologize for being late to the council, to the staff, and to the citizens. So, but I had a friend that I haven't seen since my mission, and that was 7 or 8 years ago. I saw him and I just went up to introduce myself, and he likes to go around to the parades and the fireworks and everything. And he says he does quite a few of these, and he gave Saratoga Springs his #1 vote. He says, you guys are doing such a great job. And so somebody from coming outside our community and recognizing that, I think you guys did an amazing job and hit it out of the park. I appreciate it. It just makes a good ripple across the entire valley, right? So I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all your hard work.
Thank you. Thanks again.
Good. I'm looking forward to next year's splash. Let's get planning. And
No vacationing for you guys.
I know the rest of your staff didn't come up, but thank you, everybody. It was great. Your efforts are not unseen, so thank you. Let's move to consent items. I will take a motion on consent.
I move that we approve the consent items as listed on the agenda.
Second.
Okay. For consent, we've got a first from Councilmember Barton, a second from Councilmember Wadman. We'll take a roll call vote. Wadman?
Yes.
Barton?
Yes.
Davenport?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Consent passes unanimous. We'll go to business item 1, development agreement, major amendment for the North Cove development located at 1967 East Pony Express. Jen Hall and Chris Hartle, GH Enterprise LLC as applicant. And Sarah, is it the applicant here?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have just invited the applicant to come up as well.
Great.
You're welcome to sit over here, Chris. Well, this is a request for a development agreement amendment for the North Cove development. I'm gonna have to look up here because my screen here isn't working. So this is a general location. It's on the eastern edge of our city, north side of the lake, and adjacent to Loch Lomond development. And the request is to amend the phasing plan, so the layout stays the same. You'll just see different boundaries for the phasing plan, so you can see what's recorded on one half of the screen and what's proposed on the other side. And then what you're seeing here is in the currently recorded document. It's a detailed phasing narrative about what should come first and what should come second. It's very intricate, a very intricate phasing plan that the developer is actually struggling with. And then what you're seeing here is proposed amendments to that. And then you're also seeing in the amendment language for a 0 lot line option. This allows the platting of their mixed-use structure. So this would be essential either way. It just makes it more clear at this point in time rather than having to deal with it later. They do actually already have an approved site plan and approved landscape plan, approved construction drawings. They're ready to move forward. They're ready to break ground and start. The phasing plan in the original development agreement is preventing some of their financing because it's tying commercial and residential together, and lenders are, and also builders are not willing to move forward with that intricate of a phasing plan. This is the approved landscape plan and the construction drawings. And then the council's welcome to ask any questions, of course.
Okay. Does the applicant have anything to add? Perfect. Thank you, and thank you for being here. I'll turn it over to the council for questions.
Can we go back a couple slides, Sarah? The first, where it's the original phasing and then the next, yes, this one right here. If I understand correctly, is there commercial in every phase? It's just 4 phases instead of 3, and it breaks it up a little bit differently?
It breaks it up differently. The amount of commercial does remain the same, and there is commercial in every phase. Yes.
And then it's still, phase 1 must be done before phase 2. Is that still true in the amendment?
No.
Or they could be done simultaneously? Do they have to be, can phase 3 be first?
It can really, it can really go in any order. They do want to start with phase 1 that you're seeing here. However, with phase 1, it does say that they'll build the main road down the middle in between the mixed-use building. They'll get the commercial sites completely ready, utilities, roads, everything like that. It does allow them more flexibility. We don't necessarily want to require phase 3 to be last if at some point in time that's ready to come first. It is the phase that is, because that is the mixed use phase, so that is the phase that's hardest to get going, but everything will be pad ready basically, which means all the roads and utilities will be in place.
So Sarah, these phases they're not tied to each other anymore, right? We're making them so that they can do them independent. They could do 1 and then be 25% complete, start on 2. Is that what I'm?
Right.
Okay. So they're not linked together like they used to be, like one sequential. These could be done in parallel or?
Right. It used to
Okay.
be that you have to have, one mixed use building done, and then you can do some residential, and then you need to do 1 or 2 more mixed use residential or mixed use buildings, and then you can do some more, and then you need to do commercial building, and then you can do some more residential. So this does allow the residential to move ahead of the commercial.
So the reason I think that this was done, talking to staff and others, it was because we were worried about the completion of it, right? Because in order to incentivize them to complete this project, do we have anything besides that would encourage, and I can ask the,
And
is there anything that we can?
sure, they can speak to that, but I'll answer that first. We do have the development agreement and the zoning, which requires a certain amount of commercial. So I think what this does is we don't know the timing of the commercial, but that is what it was.
We wanted to separate.
Right, that is what was causing the project to really be on hold and them not to be able to move forward with it, is the intricacy of the phasing plan. So we do have those tools in place, the development agreement and the code, that still requires commercial. We just wouldn't know the exact timing.
Looking at the notes from previous councils, that was a concern, is that the residential would come in and the commercial would lag perhaps even decades behind. Is that a concern at this point?
I'm sure it can always be a concern. We have seen that with, we do have 3 other mixed use. This one's mixed waterfront, so this is our first mixed waterfront. We do have 3 other mixed use developments in the city, and they have come in at different times. So we have 2 that the residential came in many years before the commercial, and then the commercial came in as commercial along Redwood developed. And then we have another one where the commercial has come in and the residential hasn't come yet. So I'm sure that can still happen, that there can be a difference in timing in terms of when the residential gets built and when the commercial gets built.
There's a mic there. You can stay there, either one.
You gotta eat the mic though.
Yeah, you gotta get close.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
That perfect, yep.
So on Commercial G, we have the site plan from the reception center and a full set of building plans from them. We know they're coming. They're ready to submit once we can do it. It's kind of a chicken and the egg problem of having us as a developer sell to a builder when you have all those mechanisms in place. We've probably been through about 12 different builders who just don't want to mess with that. So this was a compromise where we could do that. We're also under contract with another user on commercial area H. So we feel that those two things, those two mechanisms will help push things along. And then as the road gets done, we do have a couple of users for the commercial mixed use, but they want to see what's happening first before we get to that point. And as that road gets built, that's only going to help us out. And I think it's been said that'll be done within the year, so. I think
August of
that'll be good.
27.
Oh, perfect. So it'll take a good 6 months to get the roads in, and then another 6+ months to get houses done. So I think that'll be a perfect timing for all that.
Okay.
I got a question for you. Obviously, it's going to be a ways down the road for the mixed use. As I was looking at it, are these going to be with the mixed use condo or rental only?
They will be townhomes, and that was the reason why we went to the 0 lot line, because condos are harder to get financed, especially with a mixed-use element to it. So by having that separation, we can get regular financing for the townhomes. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, and when I say condo, I'm thinking condo
Oh.
ownership, like a condo. So will the residential, as I was looking at it, it showed it really to the back side of the retail, but a patio above the retail. How does that ownership work? I'm just curious on that.
It's, that's a great question. It's been a long time since we wrote that, but it'll be part of the HOA. It'll be considered 25% of it to be limited common area. Now, what does that really mean? Really, the people that live there are going to be on top of it. But that's what it's for, is for the residents to walk out of their unit and to be able to have a pathway down to the lake, a sight view.
But not necessarily that the resident would own the retail underneath like an office type situation.
They can,
They could.
yeah,
But not
but
access directly from the resident to the.
no, it'll just be to the roof.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
I just want to say give a big shout out to staff and to applicant, because I know this was a long time coming and there's been a lot of hiccups and stuff like that. So what I love about this is just what I talked about a couple weeks ago, is just embracing the Utah Lake and trying to get a product with our mixed waterfront that hopefully is going to be, looks like it's going to be super great. So I appreciate that as well, being willing to do this product here. Again, it's our first time, so it'll be really fun to kind of see it come to fruition. I mean, I could be dead, who knows, how long these things take, because it's such a big project. But anyway, so thank you for the staff and to the applicant for just working through this. And I'm excited to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, the good news is for this, we have two different properties. We've got the 25 acres by your harbor, and we've kind of put a stop on that until we could get this vision set, and then we can start to get that one put together a little better so we know what everybody wants. We want a good product,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's going to be really fun to see.
Yeah, let's hope it fills up. The commercial,
The commercial,
anyway. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments from the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve business item number 1, development agreement. I don't have my glasses on, sorry. Major amendment for the North Cove development located 1967 East Point Express Parkway. Ordinance 2628 dated today.
Okay. we have
Oh,
a
with all
fir-
the findings and conditions, sorry.
Thank you. We have a first from council member Barton,
Second.
second from Wadman. We'll do a roll call vote. Davenport,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wadman,
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
That passed unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to business item 2, reimbursement agreement for Ryder Station with Blacksford Capital Group LLC, Resolution 2635. Who has that? Okay. You gotta get closer, I think.
I had to get closer. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All
Now we
right,
got
there
it.
we
Yep.
go. Wow. All right. This is a reimbursement agreement for Ryder Station with Black Ridge Capital. So this reimbursement agreement, Ryder Station's it abuts the east side of Mount Saratoga. They're on Pony Express. And these items, they have drinking water line, 24-inch drinking water master plan line. It makes up the bulk of this, and that's a dry line for them. They don't use it. It's a system improvement for the city. It will go to our future Zone 2 tank up there by Mount Saratoga. The other items are an upsized storm drain line for about 11 grand, and that new signal there on it's Pony and Woodhaven. That one, they're adding the fourth leg to that intersection, so there will be a new mast arm on that signalized intersection, and so some of this reimbursement, that they're 61% of those signal improvements would be part of this reimbursement agreement. Yeah, and that is it.
Okay, are there any questions or comments from the council? Or do you have anything you want to add?
No, it was great to work with Scott. Put this all together. We've been at it for a while. Most of these improvements are to the benefit of Saratoga Springs, but we're happy to do them at the same time as our project. If it benefits both parties, and we believe it does.
Great, thank you. Council, any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the reimbursement agreement for Ryder Station with Blackspire Capital Group, LLC Resolution R2635, dated 6/16/26.
I'll second.
Okay, were there any findings and conditions with that?
Shouldn't be.
No, okay. Okay, so we've got a first from Councilmember Taylor, a second from Councilmember Wilson. We'll do roll call. Councilmember Taylor.
Yes.
Councilmember Wilson.
Yes.
Councilmember Wadman.
Yes.
Councilmember Barton.
Yes.
Councilmember Davenport.
Yes.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. We'll go to business item 3. Presentation from a budget officer or executive officer of the proposed property tax impact schedule as separate document from other budget documents. I feel like it's Groundhog Day.
That's because it is Groundhog Day. I think we've lived this 1,000 years at this point.
Mark and Spencer.
Yeah, thank you. As required by the new state legislation this year, we are required to show and discuss the proposed property tax impact schedule. This one is modified from the ones that we've seen in previous council meetings. I believe the percentage point when they did the final math for us, and we do have the final math for our proposed tax rate at this point, the current rate would go up 0.5 zeros and a 2, I believe is what the math would be for it to go up. Essentially meaning that assessed values throughout the community came down, and so the rate goes up to generate the same amount of revenue for the city. Again, truth in taxation, to raise additional monies, you need to go through the process of raising that through the truth in taxation process, but rates do go up and down depending on what's going on with the assessed value within the community. Again, the proposed tax impact schedule, property tax impact schedule, we're looking to raise $3.1 million in new money to pay for public safety. And again, we have the tentative changes if the council were to not go forward with the tax increase in August when we have our public hearing and our truth and taxation hearings. And so these items would not be funded. And per state code, none of these items can be funded until after that tax increase has taken place. And the purpose of our tax increase is to fund public safety. That's how we spend all of our property tax money currently. However, there are some public safety items that need to move forward, and so there's other items included in this impact statement that would be offsetting if the tax increase did not go forward. So, Spencer, is there anything that we did not discuss? And as you see in the presentation before you, we've got printed copies of this, is also available to the public per state code, and happy to answer any questions from the mayor and council.
Spencer?
Pretty much covered it all. He's got these numbers from the county yesterday. So what we had shown you guys before was our best calculations. But with a growing city, there's just so much changing that the mic not working?
Get closer.
Oh, there we go. Push the button.
Someone had it off.
There we go.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So sorry, like with a growing city, it's hard to forecast out these numbers. So it was really nice to get the actual numbers from the county now that they have those in. So right now with the numbers we have, like we have in front of you, that is what we're looking at.
Thank you. So that actually saves us from having a special meeting next week.
Yes, we were looking at that. If the county had not gotten it to us yesterday, we were going to have a meeting next week.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the council? There's no vote on this. This is a presentation from Ned Ryerson. Any questions or comments? Okay, thank you. We will move to business item 4. Adoption of an interim budget, including proposed property tax increase for fiscal year 26-27 and compensation schedule for appointed and elected municipal officers, which will be in effect from July 1st, 26 until the date before September 1st, 26, on which the city will adopt a final budget subject to requirements of Utah Code subsequent 25-919 ordinance 26-27. Mark.
And I'm going to punt to Spencer.
Spencer.
Okay. Yeah, so this is, we call from state law the interim budget. It's a new thing that they started this year. If you're doing the property tax process, truth in taxation, they require you to have an interim budget. It's basically to help us cover that 2 months to a month time period in between the adoption of this interim budget to the actual final budget. Beforehand, there was a little bit of a question mark there, and so this is an operating budget that allows us to move forward because our fiscal year starts July 1st, and if we weren't able to have operating budget, we couldn't pay anybody.
Okay, so
In a practical
Go ahead.
sense, it's as if the federal government was adopting a continuing resolution,
Yes.
if you would, to move forward. And technically, until the council has a budget like this in place, we wouldn't have statutory authority to spend any money. So it is a requirement for us to be able to expend funds, as Spencer was indicating. So that's a requirement for us to move forward, but thank you very much for your time tonight.
Okay, this was a tabled item. We did have a work session a week ago to discuss it. Are there any further questions or comments from the council? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion I move to approve the business item 4 and ordinance 26-27 dated today with the direction to the city administration to implement no more than a total 4% merit increase on average for all city employees for fiscal year 2026, 2027.
Okay,
Second.
I've got a first from council member Taylor and a second from council member Davenport. Any further discussion on the motion? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. Councilmember Wilson.
Yes.
Councilmember Wadman.
Yes.
Councilmember Barton.
Yes.
Councilmember Davenport.
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. That passes unanimous. We will go to business item 5. Consideration of resolution R2636 dated today authorizing the city of Saratoga Springs to participate in the employer pickup of public safety and firefighter employee retirement contributions.
Mayor and council, thank you very much. This is a proposed item for us to consider. There has been a couple of pickups for public safety. We are only allowed to pick up the retirement contribution for Tier 2 public safety employees. We did not pick the previous one up. The combined rate between the one that we did not pick up in previous years and this year's is 3.39%. And so staff is recommending that we move forward with this. It's fundamentally a difficult thing. Our public safety does a great job for our community, and this is an opportunity for us to help deal with the ever-increasing costs of retirement for the Tier 2 system with public safety employees.
Thank you. And just some history. I believe there's 2 pieces of this, and we are the last city, I think, in Utah County who has not done this. And I think it's put us in a competitive situation with our neighbors when we try and hire public safety employees. And so picking this up keeps us on equal footing and helps us be competitive when trying to find good qualified firefighters and police. And I'm looking forward to being able to take care of them. So with that, do we have a motion on business item 5? Oh, sure. Any questions or comments from the council?
Yeah.
I was going to make the motion, but.
You have questions? Go ahead.
Comment.
Yep.
I think it would be helpful for those in the audience and those at home watching to have perhaps Mark or someone explain exactly what a pickup is. It's, we talk about pickup, but it's not really telling us, everybody exactly what it is and how that works.
Sure. So if we go back in time, sorry, this is prognosticating, but if we go back to around 2011, the legislature changed the retirement system. Prior to that, there was the Tier 1 system, and it had many different, different types of retirement within that program. However, because of the recession that had occurred in the 07, 08, 09 years, they had deemed that the retirement fund was in a deficit, and so they changed Tier 2 a Tier 2 retirement system. The Tier 2 retirement system essentially reduced the benefits that future employees would receive, and basically anyone prior to, I believe it was July 1st of 2011, would be in the Tier 1 system, and then this second system, which is Tier 2. The Tier 2 system, it's been in place now for that time. We're starting to see a large percentage of our employees who are Tier 2 employees. And as the rate shifts, the Tier 2 retirement program is becoming slightly more expensive than the Tier 1. Basically, in the first, decade plus of the Tier 1, Tier 2 system, the funding was set at the Tier 1 level, and then that was matched in the Tier 2 system. And subsequently, that the actuaries have changed the Tier 2 rates to offset that, and given the growth in the Tier 2 system, they're seeing a need for the rates to increase. Those rates have increased a couple of times, and per state code, we're allowed to pick up the public safety portion of that. We are not allowed to pick it up for the other Tier 2 employees in the community. And so we've picked it up a time or two before for public safety, and then the last one, I think it was 25, we did not pick that one up. And then this one again has been come to light since the legislative session. I think we got these in April or end of April or May. And so in looking at that, we are at a competitive advantage, as the mayor had said, with our peer groups, because other organizations have opted to pick this up prior to this. And so we wanted to make ourselves competitive, both in wages as well as is the Tier 2 pickup for the retirement portion of that. If we didn't pick it up, then the wages would basically, it would come out of the wages of the employee, because they'd have to pick that up. And so the question is are we going to have parity with the other organizations in the county as well as throughout the state, or would we continue to have kind of a different funding strategy for that, where the employees are having to pick that up?
So the real world effects, as I understand it, is that we've got to hire quite a few firefighters. We need some additional law enforcement officers, some police officers, and where we're already very competitive in wages, the thing that we have fallen behind on is this pickup, where other cities have adopted it, and it's making it difficult, as I understand it, to be able to be competitive and bring in high-quality individuals that are desperately needed in our city. Would that be a fair statement?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I think this is really helpful and important to remain competitive as we're hiring, and we want to hire and attract and retain experienced. I think so. Yeah, experienced officers, experienced firefighters, paramedics. So I move that we approve resolution.
Hold on.
Can I do that?
Is there any other comments
Oh,
or questions?
Thank you.
Okay, now I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve resolution R26-36 dated 6/16/26, authorizing the city of Saratoga Springs to participate in employer pickup.
Thank you. I got a first from Councilmember Wilson
Second.
and a second from Councilmember Davenport. We will please do a roll call vote. Councilmember Barton?
Yes.
Davenport?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wadman?
Yes.
That passes unanimously. We will go to business item 6, fiscal year 26-27 certified tax rate, resolution 2637. Spencer.
Okay, much like the budget, this is meant as an interim until the August 11th meeting. So if you look at it real quick, our tax rate for last year was .000, making sure I get the right number of zeros, 976. Without any property tax changes, due to assessed values in the city going down slightly, the new assessed rate would be .000978. The city also saw additional growth this last year, and so that came in just around $420,000 additional dollars in revenue, approximately. But again, this is just the interim placeholder type thing for us to operate until the August 11th meeting.
Okay. So I'll turn that over to the council for any questions. It's pretty straightforward on this one. Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion on business item 6.
I move that we approve business item 6, fiscal year 2026-27 certified tax rate resolution R26-37 dated today.
Second.
We've got a first from Councilmember Davenport and a second from Councilmember Taylor. Will please do a roll call vote. Councilmember Wilson?
Yes.
Wadman?
Yes.
Barton?
Yes.
Davenport?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Thank you. That passes unanimously. That is our business items for the evening. We'll now go into a work session.
Mayor, if I could interrupt.
Yeah.
I wanted to apologize to the council. It wasn't until right before the meeting started, I noticed that we had left off the last item on our agenda. And so I leaned over and was talking to Nikki, because we have been including on the last few council meetings other discussion items.
Yep. I forgot
We
about
did
that.
not notice that in this, but if the council wanted to go back up to council reports,
Yep.
you could have that conversation with an extended council report conversation. If
Thank you.
deem
I'm going to
that
move us back
appropriate.
into council reports. Is there any further reports from the council? Or, yeah.
We've been, I mean, with the recent fires, we've been all chatting with residents about fire safety, and I know that city staff was looking into the cost of both signs and signs about fireworks, and I believe that's part of the current fire budget, to put some signs where residents will see like that fireworks and or shooting is not allowed in that area. Am I correct?
There is adequate funding that
Yes.
still remains this year so that we could do that. And again, one of the things that we talked about at Splash was with the annexation of the Sitla property into the city, our boundaries used to look like, you know, the power trail or power lines was kind of a safe area for people to shoot. Well, with that annexation, that is now inside city limits and no longer allowed. And so one of the things that we've discussed internally, again, we have not discussed this with the council as a whole, but actually going up and putting signs on the predominant trails and things of that nature when you're leaving the city limits, so that it becomes very clear that shooting is no longer allowed in those areas. From an enforcement standpoint, it's tricky. There's a lot of places where trigger trash is piled up on the hillside and things of that nature because people have traditionally shot in those areas. However, those are now within city limits, and all shooting is prohibited within city limits. And so we've got an updated map that we were sharing at Splash, but we can also make available to the public as part of this communication effort.
Thank you. And then we've also been looking at other ways to communicate, like firework restrictions. There is a map on the city website. It's really wonderful. There's a lot of explanation. The state limits what cities can do. I read the state code the other day. The state limits, and I'm not Kevin, but I do.
We're sorry.
Yes, but it was very clear that the city cannot ban fireworks, but we can restrict it in certain aerial fireworks in certain areas. And my approximate guess is that's about 2/3 of the city where they're restricted. And so getting ways to communicate, if you're a resident and you're looking for that, that's on the city page, it's on our social media. We're looking at other ways to get that out. So I hope that we can.
And one of the questions that came up was, do we do kind of like what we did with Splash and send flyers out to the city with, again, it's re-noticing this information.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had a lot of fires since our last council meeting, far too many. And most of those were, well, I believe all of them were actually human human-made. And so if the council was comfortable, we do have some flexibility to move forward with some additional noticing. Again, I think Corinne indicated earlier that we got pretty good response from the flyers that were sent out. And so if the council's okay, we can move forward in that direction.
What's the cost?
Around $8,000
For the whole city.
for all residents. And again,
Is that, they're talking about 18,000 flyers?
something like that, yeah. And the tricky part is if we were to only do kind of the edge areas of the community, we could save some money on postage, but we're going to spend a lot of time trying to get all of the streets correctly identified with all of the addresses. And so fundamentally, it will serve as a good reminder. And even in neighborhoods that are largely built out, for example, I'll use Mallard Bay as an example, with the drainage that goes along the side of the houses, there's the restrictions that say you have to be X number of feet away from just that because it's an open natural space. There's places in Harvest Hills that have those same conditions. Technically, the center portion of Mountain View Corridor, although it probably is outside that distance, but you have all kinds of areas that meet that. So from a prudence standpoint, if the council's okay with that, we can move forward and get that out. Again, we appreciate the feedback. I know that there's been some conversation amongst the council about that, and it's something that we have flexibility to move forward with.
What's the timeline on that?
We'd get it to the printers by the end of this week, and they would be getting it in the mail early next week.
Okay.
So we can't take a vote on that. It's not an agenda item, but
Administratively, we can do that.
are there two people on the council who support that decision?
You know, I do.
Yes.
I just have to share that last year, sorry, Chief Johnson, but there was a fire at my house. A neighbor shot an aerial and it went errant and hit our house and caught one of the decorations for the 4th of July on fire.
Are you serious?
I went walking by and I saw what looked like flames out a window, and by the time I opened my front door, my neighbor was pulling a hose over and knocking it down. It really didn't do any damage. It's maybe scorched the paint, but it's just how, and it's an area where you can shoot out fireworks, but I think having this awareness is important because things happen and so easily because you can't control where an aerial goes. So I think having this reminder going out will be very beneficial. Having lived through a little scare last year, thankfully we didn't need to call 911. We took care of it ourselves.
So what I was going to say is kind of echo what's been said too. I am pro Second Amendment. I get it.
Second
But
Amendment?
what's that?
Second Amendment?
Yeah, guns.
This is fireworks.
I know.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm just talking about recent events. Can we talk about that? Is this public? Anyway, I was just going to say, I get it. I get why people want to go shooting, but please be smart. And as one of 5, and I'm encouraging not just this is a jurisdiction that we hold people accountable. But these aren't cheap things, and just think before you go up there, if I do start something, what this means to you, what it means to others. So just exercise caution. The second thing too is on being smart. Our firemen are out there putting out fires, and we have people that are flying drones or driving on roads following the police or the fire. Once again, just be smart. Give our first responders enough room. Maybe stay back and definitely don't fly drones. I don't know if
It's against state law.
It's against state law, but we still have it happening. And once again, just
During
be
fires,
smart during fires because they want to get a good view. And just,
Well, it keeps first responders from using air.
yeah, so I'm just asking people I know this is common sense, so I think
So I think staff has direction on that.
Yeah, I just want to say that I've been kind of asking for this for a couple months. I think it's really helpful. Might be a millennial, but I am someone who appreciates print, and I think that we've been getting the word out on social media. It's really great on the website, but I think the more people we can meet, and as I think about it, I think we used to do these notices, and it maybe it's been 4 or 5 years, and I think we've got probably 50% of the city turning over in that time period. So I think it's a good reminder to residents. Doesn't need to happen every year, but I think this year, fire safety and understanding the fire code will be really helpful for people.
And on that note, thank you, Councilmember Wadman. We've encouraged police and fire department, especially on weekends, and especially if people hear shooting up in the hillsides, please report it. And we're going to be doing some extra patrols up there to help educate people and to help them understand that especially where shooting may have been allowed before this annexation. Now that that annexation is in the books and we've got clear delineations, we'll be working on how do we help communicate that message as well. So again, we encourage people strongly to go down to the county shooting range and shoot responsibly in the areas where that's allowed.
It's important to note that because of that annexation, a lot of that area is now private property and no longer public property, because a public entity at the state sold it to a private entity. So the private property owner could fence it, technically.
Well, and despite whether it's Sitla owned or private property owned, it's not allowed in the city limits.
Right.
There are no exceptions. You don't have the ability, there's, some talk of people having private property up there and they can shoot on their private property. They can't, not within the city limits.
Yeah.
And so it's an important thing. The other thing that we also indicated on that map is about a 600-foot buffer here with the lake. In the past, we've had, bird hunters and other things that it's close to homes, and so we've delineated that on those maps, and so we're trying to help people understand where you can shoot, and that is outside city limits, and especially if you're on the lake, which is technically outside city limits, there's a 600-foot buffer there to make sure that no errant shots hit homes and things of that nature.
So I'm putting my 2 cents on this. I'm fine with the postcard. I think that the signs are gonna be targets. They're just gonna get shot at. I mean, if the will of the council is to put some signs out there, that's great. I don't see how they're effective, but, any other comments on the extended reports?
Can we do flyers and maybe talk about signs in the next council meeting as an item to talk about?
I think we've given
So-
direction here.
Yeah, the signs.
Has to happen.
Just delineating where city boundaries are so that people that are going outside of the boundaries, they at least know where to go. And again, it's unfortunate. Yes, there will be people that will vandalize signs. But hopefully for the responsible people, that will become a good indicator as to where they're technically not in violation of the law. And again, helping. Yeah. Helping people understand is what we're really shooting for. And it's hard because people will do, bad things. But again, at least as a first effort to try and help people understand where that geographic boundary is, I think that's an important step for us.
Mark, could you also speak about the difference between some of the fires? There's one that was significantly larger than the others, and the role of self-reporting played in the amount of area that was involved.
Yes. So again, I'm not the fire marshal and can't speak definitively, but we appreciate those people that self-reported and stuck around. That is not always the case, and I'm speaking in general across many years worth of fire instances. We certainly we need to get public safety out there as quickly as possible. So it is doubly irresponsible when people flee scenes, because they're afraid of the consequences of their actions. But again, we strongly encourage reporting. And frankly, we would very much appreciate the residents of the city helping us be aware if they have any information, in the unlikely event that something like that would occur. And again, as I indicated earlier, if shooting is occurring and there's any question as to whether it's in city limits, please report that. We would be happy to go up and try and make sure that people are shooting safely and in the appropriate areas.
Okay, so Councilmember Barton just asked if we could have this on an agenda item.
We don't need to.
Okay,
I just
you're
worried about the
comfortable?
signs, but if we're doing the signs, that's great.
Okay, I think it's within existing budgets, so I just think they're just targets.
I agree.
So,
But we don't need to talk about it.
okay, all right.
Mayor, I did one on a report issue.
Yep.
It's kind of in the same vein, but a little bit more positive. You had appointed me to be on the steering committee for the new fire station, and I just want to let the city council know that it's moving along. There's been a lot of great input. The firms that we engaged to do this are showing their expertise every time we meet. And I had asked, and they've agreed that at our next city council meeting to bring in a very rough plan for where it's going to sit, how it's going to sit on the property out by Public Works.
Site plan.
Not really a site plan yet, but it's pretty close. It'll be just enough to kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like, how it's going to sit, and the size of it.
Okay, perfect.
I have one last thing.
Yep.
It's now safe to eat carp in Utah Lake. Just that's part of my ULA reporting. Just kidding. It's now safe to eat carp from
thank
Utah
you.
Lake.
Okay. Bon appetit.
That's how clean they've made the lake. Now you can eat carp.
Carp is
from
now
the lake.
safe. That's right.
Yeah.
Bon appetit,
That was
everybody.
my reporting from the ULA.
I told the school district they've got a great source for fish
Yeah,
sticks.
for sticks, yeah.
Carp is a whitefish, by the way, so it's not, it's good eating.
Okay.
Sushi, anyone?
All right, we will move on from reports and enter our work session. So the council will discuss without public comment and with no action taken, the partnership with live steamers at Shea Park. Who's here for that? Come on up. Yeah, the last man standing.
If you'd like, you're welcome to have a
You can
seat.
sit or stand either way.
I've been sitting all day.
Feel free to stand.
Yeah, no. Is the mic on? Okay.
Yep. You gotta be close, but it's
Yeah,
on.
sure. So my name is Eric Nielsen. I'm actually the liaison for the Utah Live Steamers to the city in regards to our activity that goes on at Shea Park. I came in my garb in earlier this year. I had my overalls on and whatnot, and it's pretty obvious who I was representing. So I had mentioned in that meeting and that talk that we had some great ideas that we wanted to be able to present to you guys for future consideration. I was able to meet with Mark and Annalise just recently, and we had one item that we discussed in that meeting and very briefly touched on the items that we have before you now. We are asking in the future if we could possibly, build an engine house and other buildings at the park to help beautify and enhance the park for the public even greater. I don't know how many what pages you guys have in front of you. I sent them off. What you see right there on the front cover is an artist rendition. We actually hired an architect to do an artist renditions for us to come up with some ideas to present and be able to expand our operations. As I had mentioned earlier this year, the park has grown in popularity by tenfold, maybe even more. And in order for our club to grow, we need to basically have places where we can store set equipment. Right now, obviously, most of our, all of our locomotives and equipment that we have or that's club owned is brought out from another member who, graciously for the last 10 years has been carrying this, hauling this equipment from his house from Payson, Utah, and bringing it out every Saturday that we run. And as the club continues to grow, especially in the last 2 years, we've actually probably added 15 additional active members to the club, which is bringing in more, more trains, and it allows us to, expand and people can enjoy the rides that we're having. So what you see now is a building that we'd like to build as our engine house. And this can be set up in several different phases. The main building, the enclosed portion, would be one build out. Then all the lean-tos and all the other areas would be future builds. And as we go along, this allows us to store club-owned equipment here at the park, which then would therefore allow us to potentially run longer, because a lot of times we get there and we're closing down at 12 o'clock and people say, "Oh man, you're done? You're leaving?" We enjoy enjoy it. And then also with the one member that has the club-owned equipment, if he has another engagement or he has a leave because he's got something else going on, he's taking the stuff with him, and so we can't leave it here for those club members that can stick around or that live within the community, continue to run trains for throughout later times of the day. In this meeting, Mark wasn't too thrilled about the water tank, and we understand that. That is purely decorative. It just brings to light, what a train, would be back in the early 1900s and through the mid 1960s. If that's not acceptable, we get it. We'll take that off, and we understand that. It was just our way of just trying to present ideas to help bring the theme of a railroad park to Shea Park. Want to move on? So what you see in there is there's a few club members, and we've had several members or several people that have inquired within this hobby that have steam locomotives. And those areas, what you're seeing right there is called steaming bays. They're elevated platforms that allow those members that have steam locomotives to be able to fire them up, steam them up, and get them ready to go, because it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to actually get your steam locomotive up and being operational. So that's just an area that what is shown right there, where we would be able to have a place for those that have steam locomotives to come and be able to get those steamed up and get them ready for operation. To the very far right, they're showing like another picnic area or a pavilion. It'd be much smaller than the pavilion that's already there, but so many times we get public that shows up, and especially in the dead of summer, because that's when our primary operation times is in the summer, is that having a nice shaded area for people to sit and enjoy, take some time out, have a little picnic. And that we know that if somebody has a birthday party or some other activity, family reunion, whatever, that you have to reserve the pavilion on the other side of where the bathroom is in the playground. This could be set up the same way, but we'd ask, though, if it was to be considered, if this was to be something that was built, that the club would have primary use of that pavilion on our run days. Go ahead and scroll down. That's just a top view. This would allow us, if you can see, we can set up trains, to build trains, and have them ready to go, and have a spot where we can actually do some, general maintenance on our locomotives within the engine house, i.e. to have a compressor, some working tools and whatnot that we would need to do regular routine maintenance on equipment. Want to go down? These are just different elevations.
This was not in the packet, correct? Okay.
So you may have, I'm not sure, Annalise, did you get the one with the sign to the kiosk? Is that in this? I sent that like 2 weeks prior. No, that's fine. So there, kind of give you more of an overview. Because there's so much, the line, the queue line on the sidewalk gets so long, even outside of Fall Festival, sometimes that line will get clear back to the bridge. So what we're looking at there is to pour a concrete sidewalk that would follow the current curvature of the grassy area, put up a fence, obviously for safety reasons. As trains come around there, that we don't have people, public, trying to jump through the tracks, and they're not paying attention to what's going on. But then to move the queue line along that concrete there. Then the actual depot also is showing a covered spot for the depot over that area too. Because when you come in, trains come in, guys, if you're out in the hot sun, it just gives you a little bit of shade for just a few minutes as we load and unload the trains and so on and so forth.
Before you go on, can you the little round area up in the right hand part of the screen? That's blown up for the other part. What is
Yes.
that? Part right there?
That's just a blown up section of where I was talking to you about
And
the
that's
steaming
steamer.
bays.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And there doesn't need to be that many steaming bays. I mean, when we just presented, our ideas to the gentleman who drew these for us, I mean, that's just how what we came up with.
So is that actually a turntable that will let you put them on the tracks?
It would turn, yes.
So when I first looked at it, I'm thinking, those got to be heavy to be able to lift and move, so.
Yeah, right. So I do have a smaller steam locomotive, and the engine by itself is probably 500 pounds. Then my tender that goes with it, I mean, that you add another, 300 to 400 pounds without water. So, I mean, yeah, my whole steam locomotive itself, it'll add up really quick on weight.
This is probably premature, but when you're not, would that be a fenced-off area so that people can't mess with something like that?
Yes, and we understand that, that now we're potentially causing an elevation for somebody that can jump, stand up, jump off, and to say that we would need to have that we would have to have that fenced off, yes.
I mean, obviously, this is just a concept.
Yeah, these are all concept drawings, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to get into it that way, I'm just.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, I just want to make sure we're going
Council,
through.
this is a work session, so it's open mic. If you have questions, go.
One thing I want the rest of the council to know is that this is actually a historic park. Like, Saratoga Springs doesn't have a ton of, unlike Lehigh, it's 150 years old. We're 29, right? So, but this was actually train tracks along that, where the bridge is and stuff. That was train tracks, and I really love what the Shea Park Seniors do to honor that history. I feel like there's not a ton of things. We have, the Saratoga Springs development, hot springs, and then we have this are the two historical things that I've been able to dig up. And that's one thing that I really like, is that this honors that history in a way that I feel like our city could use, especially going forward as we get bigger, that this is a sense of place that we don't always have. So
I actually will have to disagree with Mark. I love the water tower for the reasons that you talked about, because it does make it feel very train station-y.
Right.
And it really would set it apart from, I don't know. I love the water tower. That's probably my favorite part of the whole thing. So when you said that, I was a little sad. But I think that goes along with everything really great. I love the whole concept. But.
Sure. And there's probably some ideas.
Yeah.
Obviously, the concept, what you see is like, well, that doesn't work. And maybe, design down the road is redesigning the look of the water tower to where it doesn't allow items around it where kids or people could, climb up and get up on top of it. That's that's a design thing that we can do.
That was the concern that I had, was, are we creating a kind of an attractive nuisance of something? Not that they have a one that's much taller. So, but yeah, it was really again, there's a whole lot going on, and just wanted to make sure that whatever we put in is ultimately not going to create some fall hazard or something like that.
So
I think the thing at Neptune is a fall hazard. I mean, really,
The pyramid?
Yes. I mean, come on.
You
Like,
fall along
everything
it.
at a park is a fall hazard, no matter what.
So
Right?
I do have some questions, and
Yeah.
please don't take any of these questions the wrong way.
No, absolutely.
Our,
That's why
our
we're here.
job
We
is
gotta work through
to
this.
partner with, protect the city. So I know you guys have been out there doing this program for a long time, and when we look at these, because this is public land, is your concept here, and I did see some numbers as we were scrolling, $750,000 to $1 million of improvements. Is your concept here that the club would be funding a portion, if not all, of these improvements, and then dedicating it to the city for maintenance? What are your thoughts here on
Sure.
who actually pays to build it? Who's maintaining these? Is this an MOU for a 10-year period where if we're contributing financially, we know that there's going to be trains running for a period of time?
Right.
What are your thoughts here?
So my understanding is on the current agreement that we have with you guys, that any improvement that's done at the park, any building that's built becomes city property once it's built. So if we fundraise, we get the funds to build this, we build it, and then it becomes real property, and we have to turn it over to the city.
At that point, it would be city maintained, city owned, if that's the way the agreement reads. Okay.
I just know that this park already sets us apart because of the trains. I mean, I live by there, which a lot of us do, and so whenever the trains are there, it's a gazillion people. Gazillion, we love that word tonight. Anyway, I just think it's such already it sets us apart as a city, and I think adding this would even do that even more. One thing I want to for sure make sure we get there is a building for the train itself. Whether we get this, I mean, obviously this is a phase plan and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We probably can't do everything at the beginning. But for me, like just getting something there for the train to be in, so we're not having to transport it back and forth, that's huge because again, this is, and Emma knows more than I do because she has kids at age, but to be able to run it more often or maybe for longer periods during the day would be huge because we do have people waiting in line
Is that what
for that.
is that what the main house is? Is the main station? Is that
It's a
storage?
storage
as well?
house, yes.
Yeah,
That's
storage and
storage.
train.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Eric knows me
And-
because I'm there like all the time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we walk there, and my two little boys love the train so much. But I gathered signatures in line last year, so I probably talked to hundreds of people in that line last year, and we get a lot of people from outside the city who are coming. I actually think it's a great food truck opportunity.
That's what I'm saying. Even in our city
But I
itself,
think that
yeah.
there's a ton of people from the city. I've talked to people from that neighborhood, from right there, who come all the time, and it's a huge benefit. It's a draw to Saratoga.
I know at one point there was a suggested donation. Is
That's
that still
correct.
how you operate?
So we changed that this year. Under our agreement that we have with the city, we're allowed to charge $2 per rider. And we've been in all the years past, we've been just letting it go through a suggested $2 donation per person. And our revenue per ridership was below $1 per rider. And this year, in the 2 days now that we've done it, our ridership cost or revenue is like $1.25 per rider. Because what happens there is we give them a ticket now. They come through and then they donate give us the $2 for a rider. We give them a ticket, but that allows them to ride as many times as they want that day.
Yeah.
It's not just a one-time
wristband.
ride. They can go back and get back in line and ride again. Basically it's an all-day pass.
Okay.
Or $10 for.
Or we have $10 for a family of 5 or more. Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
One of my concerns with this is, it's a great concept, and I think it would draw a lot of people from not only Saratoga Springs, but also the neighboring communities. And how would we deal with traffic and parking with this plan?
That's something to work through. Yeah. And I think this is, it's a cool concept, and it's very unique, and
It's very unique. I love that.
I think, just in my head, there's probably a gazillion things we'd have to work out.
Thank you
through
for
an
saying
MOU.
gazillion.
You're
Thank
welcome. Through some type of MOU to make sure that, because this would be a very unique public-private partnership, where one entity is charging for a service on public property. Got to figure out how that works, but I guess my feedback would be, and I think I hear from the council that they're interested in moving forward with discussions to figure out how to work through those issues.
Well, I haven't chimed in yet.
Okay,
Can I respond to that a little bit?
yeah,
So, under our current MOU that we have with you, it allows us to charge. So if that needs to go back, we need to revisit that and look at that and make sure the language is correct. Because about 2 years ago, we had to re-sign a new one because the original one we had was like for a way extended along like a 25, 30 year contract. About 3 years ago, I think we went back and had that rewritten again. And I know that
I
was
remember, yeah.
one of the things that came up. So I do know that's been in there from the beginning, but I think it's still in there. And actually, I just sent over to Annalise just last week our financials, because part of our agreement with you guys is that we have to turn over our financials to you guys every year. So you can see what we're bringing in.
Okay. Councilmember Taylor?
Well, I love it. Honestly, I think this is a great concept here. I think that it's a unique opportunity to create an attraction to bring people in from outside of the city. And in my mind, I don't know what the positive economic impact would be, but it's definitely, there's going to be some economic impact to the city if people are coming from outside, where you have an attraction like this, where you're operating it on a regular basis. People come, they're going to eat lunch, they're going to spend money here. This is, we have Thanksgiving Point that people go over to. Now, I know that's a very different, that's a private, nonprofit that's working there, but I see this in the same vein as if they're going to come over, they could make a day out of it here. And it's going to benefit us much more than just the city residents to have others coming from outside. So I really like the idea. I disagree with Mark. I think that water tower is just fantastic. Obviously, there's liability issues that will need to be worked through, but I don't think any of that is insurmountable. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely.
I'd be curious, I probably don't have it available today, but if we pull placer data on these at all? Okay, I'd be curious to know what kind of out-of-town visitors we get associated with this, as well as in-town traffic.
If you count Eagle Mountain as Saratoga, I'm guessing it's 2/3 local,
Yeah.
1/3 out of town, but most of the people from Eagle Mountain.
Are you calling
are
Eagle
talking-
Mountain local?
Well, Eagle Mountain's out of town.
So,
But I
Yes,
think
but-
with what they've got planned here, this changes everything. Because
Well,
right now, it's inconsistent about
This
how
becomes-
long you're there, the days that you're there. This makes it a more permanent,
This makes it very much a regional attraction.
Yeah.
exactly.
With the pavilions for people to hang out at, right?
Yeah, we've talked about RC parks and things like this. This to me seems to have a broader appeal because what kid doesn't like a train?
What adult?
Or a guy like you and me that maybe you're a lot younger than me, but who
turned
doesn't
60.
who doesn't like a train, right?
Yeah.
so along that venue, Councilman Taylor, so my kids are grown a little bit, but we have lots of little kids. This will be a great attraction for years to come. But is there an offering for adults? I mean, not that I want to get in
adults
my.
raise-
Well, what I'm saying is,
I ride this train.
I would love to even get to know what this hobby is, and maybe you guys could do
Yeah, maybe some knowledge, like some
knowledge sharing
education
and
type stuff, yeah.
because that's what's kind of cool about our community too is we're tight together and we're trying to get more community involvement. I mean, if you guys offered a class, I would love to come down just see how you guys do things, and if this was something that I might want
You
to
might get
explore.
more club members, Eric.
Yeah,
Right.
Lance really wants to buy some overalls.
I do.
Well, you think about it, even from a science standpoint for education, the steam locomotive, showing how that works. Those are the type of things
Classes
that
and
might
stuff,
be
yeah.
of interest to
Well, even for
classrooms.
kids, like adults and kids alike, right? Like,
Right.
yeah.
Well, that's what yeah. I mean, once again, this is a work session. I would love
Yeah.
it if there was like an evening that I could come and participate and it'd be fun.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad you just said evening because that just cued me. This Saturday, we're actually doing our very first Saturday night or evening run. So from 6 to 9 p.m. this Saturday, we're running the trains. Traditionally, we've ran in the morning, and this last year, our club was like, we need to try an evening run, whether or not it was like the traditional Monday night, family night, or whatever. But because we already run on Saturdays, it just seemed logical for us to run on a Saturday night. So this Saturday, we're running from 6 to 9 p.m.
And we advertise that on city channels, don't we? The normal Saturday morning stuff?
Yeah, when the dates that they give us, we have a page specifically as part of our
Do we throw it up on social media ever, though?
Yeah, I think we do. I've seen it.
event page. And they're also, sorry, they're also on the calendar.
Okay.
So, and then, yes, we will do some social media posts, usually at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
That kind of highlights to them whether or not.
There you go.
That kind of highlights that train rides are getting started.
Okay.
So not really a reminder social post, like say like Saturday, we wouldn't post like this is happening tonight or type of thing, or.
If they alerted us to it, we'd have no problem posting that.
He just did.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's on the she had the times. Back in May when I sent them,
Okay.
we have all the
Yeah, I
times
think
already
people
on the
have
calendar.
calendars, but just always a
For
fun
Father's Day,
reminder
yeah.
for
And-
yeah.
And I will say, we actually, a club now has a dedicated social media person. And we actually just got an Instagram account. And so we're trying to, push out, more on what we're out there. And there's influencers now that are showing up at the park, taking video and posting it out there. And it's increasing, our footprint, and who we are. And it is, it's just growing.
I just think people really appreciate the history behind trains and everything like that. Like I think it's up and coming again, right? I think it's becoming more popular and
So there's and they don't do it anymore, unfortunately. There's a private residence in like Pleasant Grove who used to do a Halloween train and a Christmas train.
Layton, that gentleman's name is Mike Anderson. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Okay, and
Yes.
that got so big.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think through a partnership like this, we could absolutely look at recreating some of those concepts, right? You got the Halloween train that runs and the Christmas train that runs, and I think
those
there's,
are
I think there's a lot of
we-
opportunities.
We have those on the calendar.
Yeah, so there's some good opportunity, I think. Any other comments,
Yeah,
council?
I also think that this type of thing really would be right in line with what a RAP tax had contemplated.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but just, participation. Just for this type of thing, obviously, we've got a lot of decisions to make in the future, but I wouldn't exclude this as a potential for
100%.
funding.
Especially that pavilion.
There's
Tough shape.
there's just all the hurdles of the MOU, and that's all, that can all be worked out, I think.
And I
Right.
think we've talked when I was in line about a plaque, possibly talking about the
Yeah,
history of
Annalise,
the
can
area.
you
That's something I'm really
Please go down to the
really keen on.
kiosk. One more page. So in the meeting I had with Mark and Annalise, one of the things Mark asked me is, did we have any money right now to do any of these projects? And I told him no, but I says, but we do have money that I have been able to round up from my contacts to build a kiosk sign. And this kiosk sign would have twofold. The one side, we want to be able to give the history of the railroad bed, the railroad that used to run through the city, starting with, Salt Lake and Western Railroad, San Pedro LA and Salt Lake, and the Utah Railway. And the other side would be for the club purposes, to post events or post, what's going on, how our fundraiser, is coming along for different items. Right now, the club has the money to purchase the materials and to build this and to put it out at the park. And I don't know if I don't have a footprint of where we wanted to put this, but it's basically where if you've been out there, where we set up our table between the concrete and there's the light pole, probably like a 12 by 12 area, which we're required to take out a section of grass and possibly, relocate some sprinklers, is to put that sign right there and be able to. I've actually about 5 years ago, I actually talked to a gentleman that's published a book called Utah Ghost Rails, and Don Strack, and asked him if we could use his write-up that he has of the historic railroad that used to run through here out to Fairfield and whatnot. At the time he gave me permission, yes, that'd be great. Obviously, if this goes fruition, then I need to revisit with him again. Or if the city, has their own verbiage that they wanted to put up on the one side. So to say that we do have the money, if this, is to be approved at a future council meeting, we do have the money. Apparently, we do need to fill out an application to go forward with this. And so.
This is great.
Emma, is that? Okay.
Mark, what direction does staff need?
So and we didn't talk about this, but one of the things that we spoke about was kind of a strategy, an interim strategy. And there was several other items. Did you want to talk about the other temporary
sure.
storage?
Mhm.
Because I think that that's an important part of the conversation as well.
Yeah. Annalise, do you have the photos that we had in the meeting of the Conex container in your office?
So while she's getting that, all this discussion kind of brought back a childhood memory of mine. As a young child in Las Vegas, in one of the parks, there used to be an old steam locomotive that they just put there, for us to climb all over. And of course, we got our scrapes, cuts, and, and all that. But
Sure.
That's one of the fond memories I have of that park, that particular locomotive that was there. And this is exciting. Brings out the kid in me.
Now, my understanding is I come into the club like 2 years late on getting of what really was in the planning stages. But my understanding was at one point, right before you walk under the bridge, there's a pad that was graded pretty much level to the left. And that was supposed to be for a potential future caboose that we were going to try to source and get, because they come up for sale often from different areas, and to display a caboose and whatnot. But now back to the photos you guys have. So most recently, we actually have a club member that's up in his years and age, and they've only been with the club 2.5, 3 years now. And unfortunately, they are not physically able to bring their train out to the park anymore. And he offered up his train for sale to one of the club members. And if none of the club members, wanted it, he was going to go out on the open market and sell it. And we kind of got in a panic mode. We didn't want to lose a potential, club member that has a train that, was able to give rights. So I had talked to Emma really quick. I said, Emma, we kind of have an emergency need, to possibly put something out at the park to store some club equipment, because we don't want to lose, equipment. And in the short period of time, of like a couple days, we were able to talk back to the club member. He is more than willing to donate his train to the club, but we don't have a place to store it. And so I don't know how you define short term, 5 years, 7 years, until we get money to build an engine house. I brought these photos with you of the Conex container to possibly, if you would consider allowing us to put a 20-foot Conex container out on site, allow us to store, i.e. his train and other, club equipment that actually we have club equipment that sits at the gentleman's house in Payson, because he just doesn't have enough room in his trailer to haul everything. And I thought the idea of having a mural of a steam locomotive on the side of it would be more aesthetically pleasing to the park than just a brown box sitting out at the park and whatnot. So that's why you see the picture of the rendition of the steam locomotive on the side of that Conex container.
Are we?
Yeah, so the pipe under the ground Mark thought was a little bit more invasive to the landscape, and became more permanent in his mind, which it kind of does, but it hit it and whatnot. So
I'm concerned how long that mural sits there before it gets vandalized.
Well, the underground one, are we concerned it's permanent because why? Is that what?
To the landscape, it would just be we'd have to move a lot of dirt around.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to, dig out a little bit on the
So
berm, put the
obviously,
pipe down.
A Conex would require some code
Yeah.
code updates to allow for this.
What I
And Mark brought up the idea of the vandalism, and we get that. I mean, we have vandalism that goes on
Sure.
with our track and the signs out at the park already.
My issue is the container look, with the corrugated sides and things like that. I'm not opposed to something like that, but if you were to use the Conex container, I would like to see some wood siding put on it to make it look like it might be wood built, some kind of a fascia on
Yeah,
there.
the one side that had locomotive, it would be, we would sheet metal that off, so it makes a smooth surface to be able to put the mural on there.
Again, it's the metal. I think I like the wood look better than a metal. Just from aesthetics, it can't look like a container that's just been sat there.
But I understand how great it would work for that, but I don't know how you could do that, but something like that, right? Where it just kind of made it look more, not container-ish.
A little more site built than what it looks like right now.
Sure.
Like a container just sat there with some pure blocks.
I don't know, what kind of options there
I mean, obviously it would be that, but you just cover it in a way that makes it more appealing. That's my perception.
One of my concerns would be, we put out this temporary issue and it doesn't become so temporary, that perhaps if funding doesn't materialize, that we are forever in time stuck with a Conex.
So put some type of sunset on it.
Okay.
Right.
Or again, I wouldn't mind it being there for a little bit longer if it has, on the outside, a bit not so.
But
we look. I mean,
Councilmember
we would be able
Davenport
to.
brings up a good point that if this satisfies immediate need, then how do we keep you moving forward to this other? 10 years down the road, we still got that container because it's working for the club. That there's a loss of interest. I prefer a sunset on that and working towards it,
revisit it every
and see
so-
something that some actual work that's being done for fundraising for this other more larger concept.
Right, and I think, one, by us having to provide our financials to you annually, you're going to see where we're at on our fundraising efforts.
Well, I would like to see more than that, a report. that
Sure, but
comes
I'm
to the
just-
city
yeah.
Council on an annual basis.
And Mayor and Council, one of the things that we could do is work on kind of a strategy. This master plan is a grand plan, and I think it's something that is very doable. But the question would become, how do we phase these things?
Yeah, it's very feasible.
Yeah, and so, for example, from a priority standpoint, I mean, in theory, let's say we sat down and we kind of carved up the master plan and said, okay, here's the potential items. And for example, I believe the kiosk is something that's a higher priority for you as well and
Yes.
ready to move forward on. The temporary storage would be something that I think they're also very interested in, to be able to, as was indicated earlier, store store some of the trains on site and be able to utilize that for immediate, kind of ease of operations and things. Again, I think there's a path forward. It's just really a question of how do you want us to work with the Steamers Club in kind of coming up with what those steps might look like and how to move forward in a way that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm taking us off course a little bit, but I love this idea. I think everything that's been proposed is a great idea, but Shea Park we already have an issue with parking. My thing is the impact to our current. Could we also include, I don't know if we can ask staff to look at options for parking, because if you have soccer along there and then we add this on top of it, which is already popular, but you talk about it improving 10x since when you started. I think if we do this, it's another 10x, right?
Yeah.
So is there anything that we can do and this isn't towards you, I'm just more asking staff, is there anything that we can do or look at for parking or options?
Absolutely. However, it's going to be cost. And again, I think there's a world of opportunity here. It really comes down to what is the council's vision ultimately? Does that align with the club? And is there a direction that you'd like us to move forward? Parking is definitely a concern. I think, when we look at like the Fall Harvest Festival or something like that, I mean, it's inundated and it's overwhelming in some
That's
regards.
like with almost every place in our city if we have an event.
Right.
Like, that's not just Shea Park. So that's just that is what it is.
Correct.
Shea Park has become, if I'm driving, it's become.
Oh, it is. It's like if they park on both sides, you can't go through. Yeah. But that's like, again, that's any
That's what
place that
every
we
neighbor
have.
says at Neptune Park during
Yes,
events, right?
yeah.
Same
So no
thing.
matter if we have an event, no matter what, we're gonna have traffic.
But there needs to be a plan.
So,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we have a plan. Do we have a plan for Neptune? We don't really have a plan for any of our events. We just know that this is how much parking we have and people park.
Well, I think there's a plan for Neptune right now.
There's a
Well,
and
yes,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
we are planning for more soccer fields over here, so there'll be an opportunity to realign where those games and those practices are happening too, so that every Saturday we may not be seeing, you know.
Games and the train or something,
and
yeah.
at the
Mhm.
same time in the future. I mean, those things can be worked out, but your point's taken that if we help them to create an attraction, there will be more cars there. There's just no doubt about that. So, but if more parking can be provided in the future as well, that probably should be considered.
There is a church parking lot right
Yeah.
But I can see this as becoming a small amusement park for kids, and I can see it being big, you know.
I know how big the Evans family events were. They were massive. And the lines were literally hours long.
So I think that
we waited an hour last year for the fall festival train.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
There
already
is- yeah.
happening. It's not a theoretical thing. It's
I think the biggest thing is I think we're 100% in for the big project, and I think right now maybe just how do we
phase
like
it?
temporary, right?
How do you, phase it?
And phase it,
transition
yeah.
With that in mind, Eric, what's the difference in cost between like your temporary shed and an engine house, right? Like that
Well, this says engine house is 200.
engine house is 200.
Yeah, it's probably
how much is the
close to
cost?
$500,000, the engine house.
Okay.
A Connex container's like you can get them, one-time ship, for like $3,000.
Oh, okay. So very, very.
Significant
But the
difference,
cost of the containers is probably the smallest amount.
Yeah.
After with the land work that has to be done and all the improvements, you're probably 10 times that.
Running track, improvements.
We have the track and already sourced. We would need to add. We actually still have one more switch that we have available. The club has, so throwing in another switch. We have the ties that also on hand from our last order. The only next major cost is the actual camouflaging, if you want to call it, of the thing. I have, being in construction, I have contacts, and I think I have a pretty good contact with a crane operator that would come and spot this for us for free.
Well, there's still going to be earthwork that needs to be done, correct?
No, because we got to keep it on the same plane of that's already out there. I mean, we don't want to, for the Connex container, we don't want to do anything to change the grade of what's there. We'll set it on the gravel that's already on site.
Well,
We'll
there
set
should
it-
be landscaping and different things around it. You can't just have just gravel with a Connex container sitting there, you know.
Gravel's there.
Yeah.
Well,
That spot's
they're gonna
there.
put it on the track that is existing.
Yeah.
And then electricity, you're probably going to want some lights in there.
No.
No?
Yeah. You open the door.
Temporary.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess it's very, very temporary. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we don't want to, we would rather have those types of items, electrical and water, to the engine house. We're not looking for any of that. It's purely storage, as needed.
And could you go back to maybe one of the larger site plan? So essentially what I think could happen is about where the building is, the permanent building is proposed. I mean, that's essentially where the Connex could go, and then it would just be a matter of running track over to that line from a temporary standpoint. And then obviously, what would be the next priorities? For example, would the next priority be the pavilion area? I think Emma mentioned that earlier tonight. Would it be necessarily the structure over where you're boarding and standing in line? I mean, those are things that could phase in quite easily. And then again, when it comes time to do the master facility, the full engine house, then that could be something that could be scheduled so that it starts like right at the end of the season and then the Connex could go away, and then potentially the construction could take place and then be hopefully ready by spring or something like that. So I think there's ways that this could get phased that would be very operational, including the water tower. I just, you know, I just don't know. And from an operational standpoint, if there was prioritization, I think the water tower it's an amenity, but is that the highest priority or is that the last priority? So I think the question really for the council is if you're comfortable with us working with the club, how do we get the kiosk going? And how do we, you know, come to a conclusion on the temporary storage? And what, you know, do we need to do a code amendment to allow for something like that? And so is there some administrative hurdles that we're gonna have to jump through? And so again, if you're comfortable, we're happy to work with them on coming up with kind of a phasing plan. Obviously, as a club, they may have some priorities and they may have some vision as to which priorities are the highest. But as we talked in our meeting, I kind of felt like their ask initially was, can we get the kiosk sign in and can we get that temporary storage facility in? Then we can be moving forward, then we can be master planning and working towards these other goals if that's something the council was willing to move forward with.
So what I was gonna ask is, as we work through this process, is it appropriate to ask for representatives from the council, two people who can represent the council in these discussions with staff and the club to walk through the MOUs, walk through what we would have to approve and not approve to help push this forward? Can we get two council members to participate in those discussions? Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I will, but I think Emma probably wants to.
So,
Yeah.
so what? So I want, well, I have trust, I have full faith that you'll represent the needs of the city first and foremost. So, I think that's a good discussion on the direction we want to go. Appreciate you coming tonight. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
So, yeah, obviously, we can't go out and solicit corporate donations until
We have a
this-
partnership.
Yeah, until this gets, you know, approved. So, I mean, this is just the first part of it, and we understand this is going to be a work in progress, and we're glad that you're receptive and willing to move forward with this. We look forward to taking Shea Park to the next level.
Yeah, I just, my family's done those other ones, and I think this will be gigantic.
Did you
We
say
just got to
you
figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, you estimated $1 million to do the whole project.
What? Probably $1 million to do the whole
Okay.
project. Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you want to add parking in,
Yeah,
that number just got a lot bigger.
I just
Yeah.
as soon as we get things signed. Yeah.
Okay, so Councilmember Wadman, Councilmember Wilson, we'll work with staff and the club, have some one-off meetings. When you guys feel like we're ready to come back for an updated work session, let us know.
Thank you.
Councilman Wadman, I'd like to just personally invite you to come and meet with
Next
me or
Saturday
somebody while you're there. It may be a little bit harder to get out there on a one-on-one, but we're welcome to have anybody come out.
Next Saturday
we'll
night, 6 to 9.
This Saturday, not
This
next Saturday.
Saturday.
This Saturday. And
These are great.
yeah,
Okay.
no, the gentleman that, I mean, that he's an architect by trade, and whatnot, and there was a fee to have those done, you know, and so we're grateful.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
Uh-huh,
the
you're
time
welcome.
tonight. There's no need for a closed session. So without objection, we're adjourned.